So far this offseason, we have seen many trades that are getting us NBA fans excited for next season. Some standout trades we know about is DeJounte Murray from the Hawks to the Pelicans, Klay Thompson from the Warriors to the Mavericks, DeMar DeRozan from the Chicago Bulls to the Sacramento Kings, and the biggest trade of the summer, Paul George to Philly. But everybody, listen up. The trades aren't done. The trades are still incoming. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how Brandon Ingram, Lauri Markkanen, Zach LaVine, Anthony Simons, and Jeremy Grant could still be on the move. Right now, with there being so many rumors around the league on which teams these players are being, predicted to go to, but in this video, we're talking about the most realistic scenarios, talking about teams that actually could get a chance at these players. And everything we're talking about in this video is legit. With NBA training camp just around the corner, you could be seeing these players in a different jersey soon. Well, what's up guys? If you're new to the channel, my name is Soom, also known as Easy Buckets, and I'm glad that you're here. We want to thank SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. Listen, Easy Buckets fans, if you ever want to go to a concert, event, or a basketball game, I'm telling you to get your tickets on SeatGeek because they're cheap. Oh wait, I got even a better deal for you. We are partnering with SeatGeek to give you guys a promo code that gets you $20 off your purchase. So use my code EasyBuckets today on your tickets and you will get the best deal possible. Once again, thank you SeatGeek for sponsoring our channel. We love ya. Brandon Ingram definitely is the biggest star so far that could be moved, and with the new CBA rules, Brandon Ingram could be getting hit super hard this summer. With Brandon Ingram soon to be up for a contract extension, we are hearing rumors that his agent and Brandon are pushing for a 4-year extension worth over $208 million. But are the Pelicans gonna pull the trigger? We know this summer they traded for DeJounte Murray and they simply didn't lose much besides Jonas Valanciunas and Larry Nance Jr. But do they still believe that Brandon Ingram is the future alongside Zion Williamson? A couple of seasons ago, when Brandon Ingram and Zion first teamed up, everybody was projecting that these two would be big deals in the Western Conference, and after failing to make a successful playoff run the last few years, and even with this past playoff run, when the Pelicans took on the Thunder in the first round, Brandon Ingram was nowhere in sight. Over the past 5 years with the Pelicans, Brandon has averaged about 20 points per game and has become an all-star in one of those years. And if I'm gonna be honest, he's a good player, but he's not a guy that can lead you to a chip. The biggest team that was interested in Brandon before the summer started was the Sacramento Kings, but obviously they went for DeMar DeRozan. So now, who is going for Brandon? We are hearing right now that the Cleveland Cavaliers have big interest in Brandon Ingram, even though he's kind of expensive, and expecting a team he goes to re-sign him, the Cavaliers might make a big push, especially because both teams have what each other wants. The trade would be the Pelicans offering up Brandon Ingram and Jose Alvarado in exchange for Jarrett Allen and Caris LeVert. The Cleveland Cavaliers get a forward to replace Max Strus in the starting lineup to help Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland with the rising of Evan Mobley. And then on the Pelicans' perspective, after losing Jonas Valanciunas and Larry Nance Jr., they're in need of size, and Jarrett Allen fills that void perfectly. Right now in Brandon's career, I don't think he'll be a great number 1 or 2 option. He would be a great 3rd option. And with the Cavaliers already having Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell as their 1 and 2 option, Brandon fits perfectly at the forward spot. Lauri Markkanen is also a big name on the market, and right now he's probably the most anticipated star that could be traded, and the rumors of him joining up with Stephen Curry is still on the table. What makes Lauri Markkanen the most anticipated player to be traded right now is simply because there's a deadline on his contract. On August 6, 2024, Lauri Markkanen has the option to sign an extension with the Utah Jazz, and the fact that they have to wait all the way till August 6 speaks volume that the chances of him being traded is possible. When the Jazz originally traded for Lauri Markkanen, they gave up Donovan Mitchell, and if I'm gonna be honest, I do believe that was a great trade for the Jazz. But let's be real, the Jazz aren't gonna be a playoff team with Lauri Markkanen as the best player. They should probably develop their younger players of Keontae George and of course their rookies. So trading Lauri Markkanen for even more assets than the Jazz already got in the Donovan Mitchell trade just makes even more sense, as the Jazz can just keep on rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding until it's time for them to strike. Over the last 2 years with the Utah Jazz, Markkanen averaged 25.6 points a game in 2023 and averaged 23.2 points a game in 2024. We're seeing a small decline there in back-to-back seasons, so now is the time for Utah to strike in letting him go at the best price possible. And with the Golden State Warriors being in a desperate mode right now, trying to rebuild around Stephen Curry after Klay Thompson got traded away, the Golden State Warriors have a great package they can offer the Utah Jazz. The trade would be Lauri Markkanen in exchange for Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, and Moses Moody. I know the Warriors are going to have to give up 3 of their young assets, but because their mindset is win around Steph now, Lauri Markkanen, Sparkplug, Stephen Curry, and even Buddy Hield, as they have 3 players in the starting lineup that can score 3-point shots from anywhere. Zach LaVine is also a popular name on the market right now that teams are keeping an eye on to see if the Chicago Bulls actually lower their price for his trade value. After the Bulls traded away DeMar DeRozan, it is clear that the Bulls are entering a rebuild mode, and Zach LaVine is not a part of that. The problem with Zach LaVine though is his injury history, and with Zach only playing about 25 games last season and on a hefty contract, teams are not really willing to gamble on him, especially if they're 100% pursuing a championship. Joe Coley of Chicago Sun-Time wrote, NBA people still feel like if there's a place Zach LaVine could end up going to, either before the season or at the deadline, don't rule out the Clippers. The trade would be Zach LaVine in exchange for Norman Powell, PJ Tucker, and Terrence Mann. I know it seems kind of expensive to get Zach LaVine giving up 3 decent role players, but the Clippers don't have time to waste, with Kawhi exiting his prime very soon. The Portland Trail Blazers are a big team on the trade market right now. We've already seen them trade away Malcolm Brogdon this summer, and after seeing the Blazers draft 7'2" Donovan Clingan in the first round, 7th overall pick, there's even a chance that their best player of DeAndre Ayton could also be on the move as well. It is clear that the Blazers are in full rebuild mode, and there are 2 players on the roster right now that aren't a part of their timeline, and that is Anthony Simons and Jeremy Grant. The trade revolving Anthony Simons is sending him to Orlando in exchange for Cole Anthony, Caleb Houston, Jet Howard, and the 2025 first-round pick. I believe Anthony Simons would be beneficial in Orlando, a team that just made a decent playoff push last year. The Orlando Magic has already made splashes this offseason. They've re-signed Franz Wagner to a supermax deal. They've already betted their future on Paolo Banchero and basically brought back a lot of their starters. But let's be real, Anthony Simons is a lot better than Jalen Suggs, a lot better than Cole Anthony, and a lot better than Markelle Fultz. I actually believe Anthony Simons joining Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner could make this team a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, and we'd be surprised by what the Orlando Magic can do. Jeremy Grant could also benefit the future of the Blazers as he's on a pretty decent contract, and they can actually trade him away for assets and maybe a decent player. The Lakers are heavily linked to Jeremy Grant because of the relationship between Jeremy Grant and LeBron, and the trade would simply be the Lakers giving up Rui Hachimura, Gabriel Vincent, in exchange for Jeremy Grant. Hachimura fits the timeline more of the Blazers rebuild, while Jeremy Grant offers the Lakers more of a polished forward player than Rui Hachimura ever gave. And with LeBron James turning 40 years old this season, the Lakers have no time to waste to give them the best run at a championship. This upcoming season, the NBA is going to shock us and surprise us with many things that we're not going to be expecting. And right now, I'm looking deep into teams that are going to surprise us this season. So you guys just got to stay tuned for that video coming up soon. With the NBA Olympics about to happen, I made a video talking about teams that I believe could be a threat to Team USA. You don't want to miss that video. To stay tuned with what's going on in the Paris Olympics. But other than that, take it easy. God bless you, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets.